So yesterday marked the 30th anniversary of the day that the Jerry Jones regime came into town to take over the Dallas Cowboys. I remember exactly where I was that day. I was like, okay, do y'all remember where you were that day?
I do.
It was 1989.
Yeah. 89's in the house.
I was in Santa Monica, California.
That's y'all's number.
So you really didn't care, did you?
Yes, I was a Cowboy fan.
Oh, okay. What about you? Where were you?
I was at the house with the grand T sitting in front of the TV,
watching the press conference,
wondering what in the world
hell is
just
going on.
happened.
Because it almost came out of nowhere, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It was like, okay, you heard rumors, but you didn't know. Okay. Tom Landry had just come off one of the worst seasons, 13-3. He was 13 and 13. 3 and 13. Come off one of the worst seasons he ever had, and this was like 3 back-to-back bad seasons too. So we was figuring, okay, what's going to happen to Tom? He's going to keep a job, and there were rumors about them trying to.
You was wondering that at 18 years old?
Yeah. Yeah, we was trying to figure out and who do you pick up if you get rid of Tom? Because you didn't really look at. Back then, college coaches wasn't necessarily the big to do items. Then
no.
they weren't the ones you go after for. You go after other coaches that have been in the league, So you really wasn't looking at. I wasn't looking at that. And then when it came down, I was getting ready to go to my grandmother's house. She always partying sometime. It was a party over there. So I was getting ready to go to my grandmother's house, and it just came over. The Cowboys just sold. The team, Bum Bright just sold the team to Oil Man out of Arkansas, and I was like, golly. And then the next rumor came out, Tom Landry was getting ready to get fired. Mm-hmm. And I'm still thinking, and I had a
when
good
they
feeling.
Accidentally said that Jimmy Johnson was going to be the coach during the press conference.
Yeah, because they actually said that. And what I found out, I heard that this morning, that the way the whole sale came about is Jerry Jones walked into Bum Bright's office, put a note down on the table and said, this is what I want to buy the team for. That's how the negotiation went. Bum Bright looked at it and said sold. It said sold.
Dang.
$140 million.
Made him an offer he could
Couldn't
not refuse.
$140 million. Now the team is worth $5.something billion. I need an investment like that.
Hey, you ain't lying.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So what defines the Jerry Jones era of the Dallas Cowboys in these 30 years?
Success.
Yeah, I would say the success. Okay, so you gain success on the field with those Super Bowls. Okay, but I think more of the success off the field and where he's taking the team and how he's taking the team further
than marketing machine.
Yeah, he's taking this team further. Now, even though you've not you have not sniffed a Super Bowl in like 23 years, you still have taken this team to another level that they have not been in the 80s and the 70s, even in the 70s when they was going to all these Super Bowls.
But he was an innovator. Yeah. Or he's been an innovator,
and that's the other thing
NFL.
Too.
Yeah,
that's the other thing too.
People copy the things that he does because he just steps out there and does it.
Right, and I remember the first one was with Pepsi.
I was just getting ready to say the Pepsi deal.
It was a Pepsi deal, and then he made a deal with American Express. And at the
he's
time,
the one, probably the groundbreaker when it came to endorsements and stuff like that.
Him and Phil Knight.
Yeah. Because at the time, the NFL operated to where here's who we're going to endorse, and all other teams need to endorse it. He came back and said, no, I don't like Coke in my stadium. I want Pepsi. Then he came back and said, you know what? I don't like Adidas. I want Nike. He's the one who brought Nike to the table.
Innovator. For
the NFL. And then NFL said, well, okay. So then all the other owners came back and said, wait, so I can get some of this money too? Because at the time, the NFL was taking all the money and was just trying to do a share. It's like, no, I want my own money. Jerry Jones is the one who did that. So as far as his impact was huge for the NFL.
I know somebody else that's like Jerry Jones.
Who dislike him?
I said somebody that is like Jerry Jones.
No.
Benchwarmer.
Okay, I was saying, you care to elaborate?
You want me to elaborate?
So
I'm watching you do the same thing, like just creating stuff out of nothing, and I could do that myself. I'm like, okay, honey.
So you basically saying what defines his era in the 30 years is innovation?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was
just success. That's the word that I like using the most because it's everything. It's the Super Bowls. It's the off the field accomplishments, and it all came full circle when they put him in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
So I mean, there's no other word to describe him. When he took over. Now, at the time, I wasn't 18. I was significantly younger than that. Sorry, but
thank you.
But
he said significantly younger.
But I do remember at the time I didn't care about the owner situation.
Yeah, I didn't.
But I did care about the Tom Landry situation.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was
remember
bad.
when I was young and he got fired, I was very upset as a young Cowboy fan. And when Jimmy got hired, I was upset, number one, because it was the Miami coach, and now I remember them beating my Sooners the year prior. So that had me boiling, and I was very tempted to no longer follow the Cowboys. I was like, I'm done with this stupid team. Oh, they hired this stupid coach from
in California. I'm going to go to L.A.
And at that time, I'm thinking, why didn't they hire Barry Switzer? They don't know what they're doing. So I was all upset. So Jerry's done a terrific job. I love Jerry. I always have. I'm one of the few people who supported him even when he was on the field, when everybody thought he shouldn't be on the field. This is my team. I own it. I'm going to be wherever I want to be. Y'all can shut up.
Come on with this jocks to socks. I'm going to be. I'm watching.
He knows every part of the team, from management all the way down to the players.
Jocks to socks, yeah.
And it matters. And you know it matters to him. His players winning, it all matters to him. All you got to do is listen to him talk for 5 minutes, and you know it matters.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at before that time, you didn't have owners getting on the field. As a matter of fact, you really didn't know who was owning who. Only reason why you knew about Bud Adams and all of you and the other owners, like the Giants owners, McNamara and Rooney's. Only reason why you knew about them because they had been in the NFL for so long, but you didn't know about them being on the field. You just knew they was owners. He came in and said, I'm going to make sure every aspect of this team, I understand every aspect. He came in and became very voiceful, very vocal in his ownership of the team. And then he started bringing in, so you bring in a Jimmy Johnson. And nobody really knew about Jimmy Johnson except him winning the national championship. And that's really all you knew because Jimmy Johnson only had like 4 years everywhere he went. So you bring in a Jimmy Johnson, and Jimmy Johnson, I thought, did the smartest thing that I could. And this is why college coaches are getting so much pub. And I think people are not giving Jimmy Johnson his credit due because Jimmy Johnson came in and brought the players he knew in. I mean, everybody he drafted was players he knew or he tried to recruit. His first draft, you got a Trakeman, which was easy. That was an easy draft. The second player you get was a Daryl Johnston. Then you went all Miami. The next year you go mostly Miami, and you get players that you recruited. And so that mindset said, you know what, I'm going to get the players that I know and that I play against because and look what it's done, and then the thing that put, I think, Jerry Jones over the top is the trade.
Herschel Walker.
Once that trade happened, it was done deal.
Got all those picks.
It was over after. Once the trade happened, and then they go out and they start winning. Winning cures a lot of things.
Yep.
So then you forget Tom who? Tom Landry. Okay, I remember him. And we all knew in Dallas that his time was up. We kind of knew it. You just didn't want to embrace it. You didn't want to see, oh man, for so many years, because I grew up with Tom Landry on the sideline. We all grew up with Tom Landry on the sideline. That's all you knew, for so many years. And now, okay, you're not on the sideline. But not only are you not on the sideline, Tex Schramm is no longer the GM. Bon Bright is gone. Gil Brandt is gone. Though that three-headed monster, Tex Schramm, Tom Landry, and Gil Brandt, that three-headed monster is gone. But then you have to start looking at their draft picks prior to then. Their draft picks were just not good at all. So you have to look, okay, the writing's on the wall. Okay, let me see what this Jimmy Johnson's going to do. And Jerry Jones, his press conference comes out, he's hyper than the players and everything. It's like, okay. The one thing that kind of messed me up is when Jimmy Johnson leaves and you bring in Barry Switzer. And then you see the whole locker room just erupt. I mean, you get Michael Irvin throwing trash cans around, talking about, I'm not going to run no option offense. You know, and then you realize that Troy Aikman left Barry Switzer just to go to UCLA.
No, that's not accurate.
He had a
Barry Switzer called UCLA
and said,
and let them know, I got this kid here. We're gonna go with this Holloway kid,
and
he can really throw the football.
You can have him.
Troy should be indebted
to Barry
for that,
but
he's not. He holds a grudge because of it.
Because he would have never had he stayed at Oklahoma, he would never got on the field until
he wouldn't have saw the field again.
Yeah, but I mean, the some of the moves that Jerry has made for me have been like, okay, what are you doing that for? And then next thing you know, okay, that's why. And it's funny how
it's a method to his madness.
Yeah, it's funny how broke people can tell billionaires how to use their money. That's just funny to me.
Right.
We broke. We trying to get to where you are, but we're gonna tell you how to do your money.
Yep.
That makes no sense to me.
Only time I ever say that is when he involves himself in the draft. The only time you'll hear me
And
say,
we don't have to worry about that now because now Stephen Jones and Will McClay is running the thing.
Which begs the question: can you give me, in his 30-year tenure as owner of the Cowboys, the worst 3 draft picks ever?
Ooh.
Just give me 3 players.
Booby Carpenter.
1.
Ebenezer Ekibon.
Yeah. Shante Carver.
That's 2 on my list.
He was terrible, Ebenezer Ekibon.
That was 3 on my list. I got 2 more in my head.
If it wasn't for Bill Parcells, I would have said Quincy Carter, because you remember who was still available.
Who was still available?
The linebacker that end up going to Pittsburgh was still
available. Greg Lloyd?
No,
not Greg
it wasn't Lloyd.
It was
for the life of me, it's slipping my mind, but I think his last name may have been Bell.
Okay,
but it was for this. But Ebenezer Ekibon is one of the worst.
Shante Carver, you got to put that in. You got to put him in there.
He was on my list. Shante Carver, Ebenezer Ekibon,
David LaFleur,
Booby Carpenter,
yeah.
And there was 2 more. I'm gonna see if you.
Bobby Carpenter is bad.
Booby Carpenter.
he was bad. That wasn't a good pick either.
David LaFleur.
That's one of them.
The tight end. But the Troy Aikman vouched for David LaFleur.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
He vouched for him.
Yeah,
he wanted him.
And there's one more on my list. I had 5 of them, but y'all just named 4 as one.
Sherman
more.
Williams.
No.
Nah, he was decent.
He was okay. He was average.
He was okay. There had to be
It had to be in a Chan Gailey draft.
No, it had to be in the other guys, the other coach that they had prior to Chan Gailey.
Not Barry.
Dave Campo.
Dave Campo.
It had to be in his era.
Any one of them cornerbacks that they drafted.
It had to be in his era.
He getting close.
Any one of them Dwayne Goodrich.
That's it.
Yeah,
the one who ran over somebody.
So I said David LaFleur, Dwayne Goodrich, Bobby Carpenter, Shante Carver, and Ebenezer Ekibon. For me, the 5 worst draft picks in Jerry Jones' 30-year tenure with the Cowboys.
Those were terrible. Yeah,
horrible.
Yeah,
players.
yeah. The bad part about it is all of them were number ones. Like there were other players you could have picked before, aside from them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So what about the aside from the Troy Aikman, what about their top 5?
Top 5 what? Draft picks?
Yeah. I'm not gonna say Troy Aikman because that just fell in his lap. That was an easy draft pick.
Well,
that was an easy draft pick.
No, you got to give him credit for it because he still made the pick. We've seen drafts where people
you have to put him in the top 5. They made the pick.
Okay, so had they drafted Tony Mandrix aside from Tony Romo, Troy Aikman,
you got to give them credit for drafting.
All right, I'll give you that. So let's go 6. Troy Aikman is
okay.
So
that's easy. Everybody
in
the triplets.
Irvin wasn't drafted.
Was in the Landry era.
Yeah, Irvin was in the Landry era.
A lot of people forget that. He was drafted upon the Landry
era,
not Jimmy Johnson.
Prior.
Michael Irvin came in and said, Danny White, man, you going to Super Bowl.
So Troy, Emmett were obviously, to me, those are the top 2.
Troy and Emmett.
DeMarcus Ware, absolutely, he's got to be in there.
Was Greg Ellis was that a
solid pick?
It was a solid pick, but
instead of Randy Moss.
Instead of Randy Moss, yeah.
Well, no, that was dumb.
No,
was dumb. I forgot about that. That's right, because
they didn't draft Randy Moss because of
Michael Irvin.
Michael Irvin.
Well, I actually, when I talked to Greg, he said he already knew that they was going to draft him. Jerry Jones told him a long time they were going to draft him. So let's see. So we got Emmett. And I think the reason why Emmett was a smart pick is because they actually moved up to get him, one, and two, they was going to draft Ron Francis. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
The linebacker.
And are these first round picks? Or
They were just the best.
Larry Allen.
Yes.
Larry Allen was a good one. Yeah.
Yes.
What? Eric Williams.
Larry Allen's like the greatest offensive lineman I've ever seen.
I'm sorry, Eric Williams. You talking about
yes.
He was.
You talking about a mean, nasty who nobody want to get up against Eric Williams? That's you can't.
Okay. I mean,
I won't argue that. I won't argue it.
He's like top 10 of them, not top 5
of the top 5 drafts.
Yeah, he's mine was who said DeMarcus Ware?
We both said DeMarcus Ware.
It's to me that's
Ware, Witten,
yeah,
Aikman,
Jason Witten, yeah,
Emmitt Smith, and probably
to be determined Zeke Elliott.
No,
well,
I want to say Larry Allen.
Yeah,
Larry.
Yes.
I mean, but
Larry Allen.
You bring up a good point though. You got a Zeke, and it didn't have to be a first round, does it?
No,
because you got a Zeke or a Dak.
Dak was luck. They were trying to pick everybody but Dak.
No. Okay, I'm sorry. Troy Aikman fell in their hands, but they drafted him. Dak, they drafted him.
Yeah, but they tried to draft everybody else.
Paxton Lynch
before they got Dak. Dak that turned
all
into
right.
luck.
So if you want me to, since you mentioned 6, one other person I had in my head was Darren Woodson.
Woody.
We drafted him. And
yeah,
that was a good pick.
Yeah, that was a good pick.
That's a good pick. He should be in the Hall of Fame pretty soon.
And the opposite of Woody is Roy Williams.
No.
Heck no.
No, the opposite. I'm saying the opposite. I'm not saying the same. I'm saying the opposite.
Okay. I misread you.
I love my Sooners, but that is a big negative on him.
He came out as a hard hitter first 2 years, and then after
Couldn't
that,
cover, yeah, he could.
oh my God, did they expose him?
Sure did. After Woody left, he got exposed.
Big time.
Big time.
He got exposed.
And that's why he was good his first 2 years because of
Woody.
Woods.
Yeah. And that's how we learn. What's so crazy about it is we learn different positions when people leave. So, that's why we needed him. Because that's why we learned how great that safety position needs to be, because he was back there covering for Roy Williams.
And if you want to put it in there, Daryl Moose Johnson was a great draft pick because
That
he
was.
was the reason why Emmitt Smith
He protected
got as far
him.
as
Yeah,
he
I'll
did.
give you that. Yeah. That was a good. That was a great.
drafted Moose.
That was because that was their second draft. You got Troy, but then you got Moose Johnson.
Mhm.
Okay, worst trades. Any receiver they've traded for aside from Murray Cooper.
Joey Galloway, that's the worst one.
Oh my
No,
God.
Terry Glenn.
No, Galloway. was
Galloway.
worse
Okay,
than
yeah,
that.
Galloway.
Glenn was solid here.
Yeah,
He got
Galloway.
solid here.
Galloway.
Galloway was the worst because they gave up so much.
Yeah.
To get it.
him.
No. Roy Williams was the worst.
That was bad too. That was right
No,
there.
That was bad.
Yeah,
too.
that's up there. I don't understand, why do you trade from sorry teams?
Their talent. It's
Doesn't matter.
got to be the only reason. Their talent.
Mentally, you got sorry in you because you've been on a sorry team for so long.
They were trying so hard at that time to find a number 1 receiver
For Troy Aikman.
for Troy
When
Aikman to try
Urban
to
had to
prolong
retire.
I get that,
his career, that they were willing. And this
to
again,
do whatever.
This again is a credit to Jerry. He's willing to do whatever it takes to try to win. And this again is also his downfall at that time.
Right.
He needed somebody else to tell him, no, don't do that. That's a mistake. And at that time, nobody had the cojones
To do
to
it.
tell him. And so
I think
Worst trades.
Oh my God.
it's the Galloway one. That one was terrible.
I can't think of anything worse than the Galloway trade. He stole my thunder. I mean, I remember how they went down.
Yeah. It's like,
We gave up way too much to get Joey
Way
Galloway.
too much.
And he was
Took years to
he was
recover
at
from
best
that.
a average player on the offense. He
No.
didn't replace Michael Irvin.
no, they did that because of speed.
Well, I mean, yeah, because when he was with the Seahawks,
They did that
every
because
time
of
you
speed.
saw highlights, he was burning everybody.
They did
They
that because of
did
speed.
the same thing when they brought in Rocket Ishmael. They did
Ishmael,
the same
yeah.
thing when they brought in Terry Glenn. They were looking for speed.
That Terry Glenn,
That was
Terry
a good-
Glenn was.
I like that. I like that trade. He was solid here.
He was.
He was solid here. He was a better Kelvin Martin to me.
I agree with that.
He's a better Kelvin Martin, K. Martin. He's better than him.
What about
solid trade?
What about bringing back Herschel Walker?
That's the best trade in his era.
Bringing back Herschel Walker?
Oh, bring it back.
Yeah,
They made the Cowboys feel good.
Yeah,
they did. Yeah.
We got rid of you, and somehow you came back, but we got what we wanted anyway. So hey,
they didn't really give up much.
No, they really didn't. After he ran through the NFC East,
yeah,
he ran all the way. He went to the Eagles. Didn't he play with the Giants? No, he didn't play with the Giants.
Who?
Herschel Walker.
I think he did.
I'm saying, did he play with the Giants?
I have to look up his resume.
I know it seemed like he just ran all the way through the end because I know he started out in Minnesota, and then he went to the Eagles.
The Eagles.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I have to look that up.
Yeah, maybe he didn't play with the Giants, but you know, so for me, worst trades. I got the Randy Galloway trade. I get that.
That's the worst. I don't know
What
other direction you can go from there.
Anything in the 2000s that you traded was bad. The whole 2000, the whole decade of trades.
They didn't trade anybody because nobody was worth anything because all the draft picks were so bad.
Bad, yeah, they're bad.
Nobody wanted that hot garbage they was throwing out there.
That draft picks were terrible.
Oh my gosh!
Remember Curvin Richards? Remember swerving Curvin Richards?
They just didn't know what they were doing.
He got cut off on the practice field because he kept no, he actually got cut after the game because he kept fumbling the ball.
I wonder. No, Marcus Spears, he was a good pick.
Yeah, he was a good pick. He was solid.
Player.
He was solid. He was with the same DeMarcus Ware draft.
Yes, that's when they were trying to decide because I think Jerry wanted the kid that went to San Diego prior to DeMarcus Ware, the other linebacker. Sean Merriman.
Sean Merriman, yeah, Merriman. Yeah,
they wanted him, and he turned out to be a knucklehead. So
they got.
Thankfully,
Marcus
they made
Spears,
the right pick.
He was solid. Yeah, he was solid. And then but they did. I don't think who was the defense coordinator then, because whoever it was didn't know how to use that. Didn't know how to deal with. You got DeMarcus Ware and Marcus Spears, which are solid, and then you had they had a solid defensive line.
Well, Spears, he wasn't near as dominant as they had anticipated him being, and so as a result, he was just.
But your defense line, you had a couple other players that was on that defense line. One of them went to Washington.
Yes.
I forget who he was, but you had some solid players on that team.
Yes. You did.
The worst move in the Jones era. Anybody. The worst move. Obtaining Terrell Owens, making Jason Garrett head coach, hiring Mike Vanderjack to be your kicker.
Vanderhack.
The worst move.
Making Dave
drafting.
That's a bad move. No, Chan Gailey. No, Chan Gailey.
I think
Chan Gailey. I'm gonna say Chan Gailey.
Mm-hmm. Chan Gailey had a proven track record as an offensive
a coordinator with Pittsburgh.
But Dave Campbell, there was nothing about him that made me believe he would be successful.
And they still kept him.
Yep.
Now, I think moving the training camp to San Antonio, that was bad.
Too hot.
That was bad.
How about passing on Tom Brady?
Everybody passed on Tom Brady.
I know.
Yeah, you can't. Everybody passed on Tom Brady.
Everybody did.
Everybody passed on Tom Brady.
Okay.
Yeah. Everybody passed on Tom Brady. So that's nothing. Now,
Patriots luck.
Yeah, if Brady were the second player and Cowboys had the first pick, and they passed on him, then okay. Wait, getting Ryan Leaf.
That's bad.
All right, this has been 4-1 Sports Talk Radio. Any last words?
No, it's a good show. Thanks,
Shucky Ducky, quack quack.
Look forward. A lot of people are going to come see you Sunday. To be determined on my
end. She got that look. Professor.
Looking forward to Wings basketball.
What's the first game?
The first game, I believe, is in late March.
Okay, cool.
I don't have the exact date.
You mean wing basketball? Because they know wings. They just wing. Are you
gonna do any credentials this year for that?
We're gonna do credentials.
Okay. Yeah. And I was gonna answer my own question. I think the worst move in in the history of the Jones era is firing Jimmy Johnson.
But they didn't fire Jimmy. Jimmy quit.
Forcing him out the door.
No, he wasn't even forced out there. He knew. He said he wasn't going 4 years. This is way
Name me
before.
the last franchise to ever
No,
not retain their head coach
listen,
after winning
He
the Super
said he was
I
not
understand that.
staying for. He's never stayed
But you know,
anywhere
you,
for 4
man,
years.
you both know there's more to it than that.
Yeah.
Man, you both know that.
Wait. My brother was curving the whole team. He knew he wasn't going past 4 years. This had nothing to do with Jerry Jones.
We know that. However,
Jerry Jones
me,
couldn't
you
keep-
know, is a little bit more than that.
All right, Jerry Jones couldn't keep him, but we keep it moving now. Yeah, because they getting a start. We
Okay.
whole new another conversation. No,
Oh,
we
that's
said
next
we
week.
was gonna next week.
Yeah, we switched it.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look forward for Wings basketball.
Okay.
Let's go.
What
Looking
you
forward
got?
to Shucky Ducky.
Sequest, if you were in the group paying attention.
There you go. Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
All right.
And
Thank,
happy birthday to Quest tomorrow.
yeah. Turn up for Crest tomorrow because his birthday is tomorrow.
Happy birthday. Are we having a party?
We having something.
We not doing nothing?
That's not a major.
Ah.
It's
No, 40 ain't major.
50.
50 is major. All right, this has been 41 Sports
All
Talk
right.
Radio, 41radionetwork.com. We will see you again next week. Again, thanks to Shucky Ducky for coming by.
Yes.
Thanks to Brick House Lounge for having us out here.
Yes, always.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Security. Thank you, producer over there.
Director.
Oh, Quest producer.
Okay.
Well, yeah, and you got to go look at the video. You got to go see
promo.
the promo. The promo is nice.
I pinned it to the top.
Yes, this is. Yeah, thank Ladybug for coming on the show.
Thank
Yes,
you,
yes.
Ladybug.
Yes, what's your website is Cedric E. Lyons II? Cedric Lyons II.com. There we go. 41 Sports Talk Radio, 41radionetwork.com. We will be back next week.
Let's go.
All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.